Hello folks, very warm welcome to another video. I hope this one finds you hitting winners, one for the tennis fans. And if you can't be hitting winners, I at least hope that your unforced error count is low. Folks, welcome to another video. This will be a Hangar Queens episode, I guess. Hangar Queens, the series where I bring some aircraft out of the hangar that have been sitting there for a while for no real reason other than I've got too many aeroplanes to fly and I don't get to fly them all. The Kodiak definitely fits that category. I haven't flown it for ages. It's gone through a couple of major updates since I last flew it, which probably was a video here on the channel sometime in the distance past. So I've recently downloaded the latest version from the SimWorks Studios website. I think that's version 1.4.0, but don't quote me on that or on anything that I say on this channel. I thought I'd take it for a fly. Shall I show you where we are and where we're going? Let's do that. And we're back in the good old US of A. Been here a bit of late. Shout out to all of my American viewers. I know I have quite a few of you over there. Around about 25% of viewers to this here channel hail from the US. Yeah, surprises me too. Anyway, folks, we're in the western US. We're in specifically Utah, and even more specifically Salt Lake City, Utah. The main airport, International Salt Lake City, Kilo Sierra Lima Charlie, and we're heading up into sort of southern Idaho, a place called Paris. Bear Lake County Airport is our destination. Trip of about 94 nautical miles. There's a little FS economy run, flying some packs between Salt Lake and Paris. So we're basically going to track the highway, the number 15. That's what you Yanks do, don't you? You talk about roads in terms of the number. So I'm going to follow Highway 15, at least until it sort of hits the junction here at Farmington, and then we're going to head up the 89, track the 89 until we hit another junction up here at what's this place called? Would this be called South Weber? What's that? Looks like a quarry of some sort there. And then we're going to kind of go off the beaten track. We're going to leave the roads and head over a couple of ski resorts as we get up into the hills. So this could be an interesting challenge, as we're going to have to elevate our aircraft in order to get over the elevated terrain. But yeah, climbing over the hills, overflying Bear Lake. That's where the border between Utah and Idaho lays, basically halfway across the lake. Hey, that's well planned. And then landing into Bear Lake. That is the plan. 94 nautical miles, as I said. Pretty short journey, about 35 minutes. But we will have, I think, a little bit longer than that before we actually touch down. Video duration, we'll try and keep it to about 15 or 20 minutes, something like that for you folks. Anyway, welcome aboard. Let's go flying. Oh, some days, folks. I kid you not, this is the fifth attempt. 05. To get this aircraft safely departed out of Salt Lake City. I've had two crashes, like aircraft crashes, because of the loading issues. FS economy, well, this was going to be an FS economy run. I've completely abandoned that because it sets the weight and balance in this aeroplane in a really bad place, and I just stall out on departure. So that happened twice, cratered it twice. I've had a sim crash on the third attempt. The fourth attempt, I managed to screw up just through complete unfamiliarity with the aeroplane, and hated every second of the departure. Decided I'm not putting that up on YouTube. So this is attempt number 5. I kid you not. Shall we do this thing? He says for the 5th time. Let's do it. Now, have we got stuff sorted out downstairs? No, mate. You're downstairs is as messed up as it ever was. But in the context of the virtual aviation caper, I think we're good to go. We'll introduce some juice. He says for the 5th time. Right, power set for the 5th time. Alright, a little bit of aileron into the breeze this time. We'll rotate about 65 knots, which is about there. Alright, nice and gentle off the strip, pal. Okay, there we go. Oh, geez, you need to use your feet in this aeroplane, don't you? Righto, so far so good. This is 1,000% better than the previous 4 attempts. I'm going to take flaps up pretty early. I'm going to get Georgie doing some flying here, I reckon. She's sensitive, this bird. As are the real life birds this morning, quite sensitive. They've been quite vocal in their assessment of my flying skill today. Now, what do I need to do about rudder trim? I think I need to keep a little bit in, right? Right, so Georgie's going to do some flying. He's kind of heading us out on runway heading, pretty much. Yaw damper on, roll sort of mode. Well, I want to go heading mode, Georgie, thank you. And we're going to kind of head around towards our first waypoint, which is over here. And as I do that, I'm going to take an external. There we go. We have departed, folks. I'm hopeful this time around. 5th time lucky, as they say. And we'll track the Highway 15 to the north, the Great Salt Lake of Salt Lake City. Been a while since I've been in Utah. Managed to have the pleasure of visiting Salt Lake a couple of times in my life. Can't tell you too much about it. There's a lake, there's some mountains, there's a temple, and there's a Denny's restaurant. Well, there's probably more than one Denny's, but there was one Denny's that I used to frequent. I became quite familiar with that particular Denny's. I quite enjoyed it. But I'm weird like that. There you go, folks. There's your travelogue of Salt Lake City. Heading. What should we do about this heading? We might change that heading bug around. Can we change the heading bug? We can. Alright. We'll eventually take up our track here. We're going to miss out. Oh, hello. We've got icing now. Oh, this is just endless challenges today. Windshield on. What do you reckon? We might have to go a bit of what do we do here? How does this work? Can I do something with that? It doesn't look like it. Pido's on. Pido heat. What am I forgetting? Apart from everything. Can I not change that somehow? What am I missing? There, do that? I don't know. Should be on normal. I don't know. Are we icing up? We probably are. Riveting content, folks, hey? Old mate, he doesn't know what he's doing. But we're away. We're up through 9,000. We probably should come back on the prop just a tad. Give it a bit of a rest. There we go. Up through 10,000. We'll take a nav hold at this point, Georgie. Thanks, my friend. Alt S is enunciating, so it should level out at about 11. We're clear of the muck here. There's the highway. The Salt Lake. Is it something happening with the Salt Lake? Is it shrinking in size or drying up or something? I vaguely seem to recall reading that in some place. That's quite loud, isn't it? Outside. There we go. Anyway, the Kodiak. Based on my experience so far today, I can't say I've missed it. Not entirely sure what's going on with the weight and balance kind of issues. We'll just reduce that rate of climb a bit, mate. Thanks. Alright. Good old crosswind here, out of the west, 26 knots, hovering around that sort of mark. Right. We're getting some... I reckon we're getting some flame rate? Yeah, flame rate when you prang it. The flame rate was pretty high earlier in the earlier in the flight. Frame rate is fluctuating a fair bit here. It feels it anyway. I've got no way of actually... Well, I do have a way of measuring that and displaying it, but I'm not going to do that. Right, we'll just retrim, get our rudder trim sorted out. We're good. We've levelled out at 1,000, Georgie, I think. We're going to level out. We do have some weather around, obviously. We've got to get over these hills. Flight of about 90 odd miles, as I mentioned in the introduction, which feels like a really long time ago. For me, anyway. But for you, only a matter of minutes. Folks, I'll hopefully see you at the other end. And we'll land in Paris, Idaho. Alright, settled nicely in the Cruise 1000. Quite bumpy up here today. And we've been in and out of the fluffy stuff, but she seems to have cleared up a little bit this part of the journey. About halfway there at the moment. And yeah, that's promising. The weather's clearing ahead of us out that direction. Not so good. Something's actually working in our favour in this flight. There's just some days which... I tell you what, the flight simming gods don't mind throwing in a bit of a test, eh? I need a rest, not a test. Simming gods, just quietly. Anyway, can I take the opportunity to welcome new subscribers to the channel? There's been a few of you come through. Sort of the subscriber count slowly rises. We're getting close to the 2K mark. Probably get there in about 2028. I've had a few people... The subscriber count's gone up by a few and then it's dropped by a few. So I'm guessing that's sort of people that click the subscribe button with the best of intentions and they actually watch some content and they go, yeah, nah, I'm good. That's a horrible mistake. And if that's you, well, then you join an illustrious list of women in my life over the years who have dipped their toe in the water, so to speak, only to realise they don't want to get wet. Alright, so Bear Lake comes into view, folks. Iced over. At least in the sim it is. We've got a bit of a rainbow going on here. For my eyes to see? I don't think so. That's a rainbow. I have someone watching this who'll interpret that and accuse me of what's that? Going woke or being woke. Well, you can describe to me what woke actually means. Get back to me. But anyway, I don't think that word is a bit like words like innovation. It's used a little bit too often by people who don't know its meaning. Woke. Anyway, folks, the airport is not too far ahead. Jumping back inside, we'll be able to tell how far ahead. It's around about 18 miles from here. We are on descent. No idea what the actual field elevation is at our destination, but it looks like we've got some clear skies, so we'll be able to navigate our way to a runway of some description. I'm relatively confident of that. We'll see you for the final stages. Right, so 6 miles to 1. We're about 1,000 feet above terrain, so we're slightly low on profile, but that's all right. We can see where we're going. You can kind of see the airport from here. Might give Georgie a rest. Hand fly the rest in. What do you reckon? Let's do it. Probably land 3. Well, we took off 3-4. We might land 3-4 as well. There is a few runways to choose from here. Birds are particularly vocal this morning. They probably are responding to my vocalness. Is that a word? Vocality? Even less of a word. Earlier, on trying to get this flight departed. I was using some quite interesting language, and they probably felt like they were on the receiving end of that. Of course, I wasn't directing it at them at all. I was directing it here, firmly, at the screen. But anyway, I might take a stage of flap just because we can. And just reflecting on the on an earlier tangent about the wokeness, I remember meeting a person, spending some time with a person a couple of years ago who really cottoned onto the whole woke thing. She was accusing me quite regularly of being woke. Couldn't tell me what that meant. It seemed to trigger her when I was respectful and courteous, and for her that was me being woke. Well, if that's me being woke, then woke me up, baby. Woke me up before you go. Absolutely ridiculous. The whole thing about that, and she's quite ridiculous as well. Next stage of flap. Back to the flying caper. Runway, this looks like runway 34. Paris, Idaho, here we are. Thank you, Betty. Go full on the props. We'll take final stage of flap here on short final. Like about there. Thank you, birds, for the backing noise, the backing track. Every approach in recent times seems to have some backing music. What's going on with this runway? Like a runway with inside a runway. A little bit strange. 70 knots, that's about right for the Kodiak, isn't it, on approach? Light breeze. Well, it was light. It's picking up in intensity as we get closer to the deck. That's a very interesting runway. Anyway, I don't want to get any slower than that. Maybe some power in. All the flaps are out. We're all good here. Runway 34, folks. See what we can do about a touchdown. Oh, that was stiff. We do have beta on this thing, don't we? There we go. Ugh, that just felt very, very ordinary indeed. Very stiff is the word that comes to mind. We'll get the flaps up and we'll roll out. I'll find a place to park, but I won't bore you all with that. Folks, thanks for your company in another video. This has been an exercise in persistence, if ever there was one. I hope you keep enjoying your simming. Stay well, and we'll see you in a future video. Bye for now.